What's happening? It's your boy S.P.A. Krumpit. I'm out here about to take my first ever rip of a vape. I'm not sure if this is a vape or an e-cig. It says VAP somewhere on the back, like FAP. What are you eyes in that, folks? And there, see VAP, and it has a V like an Avengers logo on it. Tony Stark. Tony Stark made this vape. But we're gonna have my first whack. Apparently that's a power level button. You can adjust that. I don't know if that's on high or low power. You press the button, but when you press it, it doesn't feel like anything. So yeah, let's have our first vape live on camera. Oh. Oh, that's disgusting. What the fuck? How come every time someone from Dublin becomes a celebrity, they start lying about how working class they are, right? Do you ever notice that? You have Barry Keoghan pretending he came up in a block of flats. You have Colin Farrell exaggerating his Dublin accent depending on where he's being interviewed and who the interviewer is. You have like Fontaine's DC and Bono acting like they're just working men. How come these fellas can't come out and be like, listen, yeah, my dad had a lot of money and connections in the industry and that's why I'm famous? I don't know why, but I always felt like people who hate their mother are coming from like a middle class background, right? That's just my immediate assumption. I feel like the reason why is that if you're coming from a more working class background, you appreciate the fact that having a child is a massive financial responsibility, and you're able to appreciate the fact that your mother sacrificed a lot to get you to where you are today. Whereas if you're a posh boy, you know what I mean? You grew up in a gaff with a load of money, you're just like, Mummy didn't buy me a PS5, wow. Acast recommends podcasts we love, like the Sheila Showaga podcast, I'm Grant Ma'am, and the one you're listening to right now. Feel sorry for anybody that has to buy their drugs on the north side, right? North side drug dealers, typically in my experience, they're like a one-man operation, right? So you're beholden to their convenience and you're sorted around their schedule, which is fine, you know what I mean? That makes sense. They have a life. Whereas on the south side, everything is run a little bit fucking differently. And someone told me that years ago and I was like, but south side equals posh. But now after like a year of buying in the south side, I can say that that shit is run way better. If you buy drugs on that end of the city, it's like a business. It's like a shop, you know what I mean? They have set opening and closing hours that there is every day, you know what I mean? You have a variety of different selection when you arrive. You have like a rotating cast of staff members depending on the day, you know what I mean? It's great. I love you up the south side. You ever get handed a J by someone, yeah, and you put it up to your mouth to take a drag and the end of the thing is fucking wet? It's like, how are you doing that? Are you licking your lips and salivating before you put the thing into your mouth? Are you putting your tongue against the fucking roach? Every time that happens to me, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I need to cut this person out of my life and stop doing drugs entirely. I find the placement of Blanchardstown Garda Station to be quite funny, right? You have that shit like right beside Castleknock. That's where you're gonna put the Garda Station. You're not gonna put it in fucking Clonsilla. You're not gonna put it in the middle of Hartstown. You can't. There's two types of people who will tell you, oh, I've smoked weed loads of times and I never get high. I just can't get high. I'm one of those types of people, right? About 50% of the people who are going to tell you that are telling the truth. They're genuine freaks of nature who are just forsaken and cursed and they can't appreciate one of life's greatest pleasures, right? I feel sorry for those people. But then you have the other types of people who it's a skill issue. Do you ever see that? You hand them the joint and they're like, nah, that didn't do anything, man. It's like, yeah, because you didn't fucking inhale. I don't know why I find the idea of healthy munch to be quite comical, right? You're at a sesh, everyone's having chocolate, crisps, jellies, cans of Coke, and a fella whips out a punnet of grapes and some crackers and cheese, and he's like, oh no, I'm being healthy, right? Do you not see that as a little bit of a contradiction? You're just after chonging down 2 rollies worth of tobacco, 0.75 of the most sprayed haze you could find, and white bleached skins, and now you're like, actually, sugar and salt? No, my body is a temple.